Hi, I'm Brenda Quintana, coming to you from the Beehive. Yesterday, I showed you how to make a t-shirt favor for guys. Today, I'm going to show you how to make these adorable t-shirt favors for us girls using the Custom Tee Bundle. This bundle consists of the Custom Tee stamp set and the t-shirt builder framelits. If you purchase these together as a bundle, you can save 10%. These favors are just adorable. They each hold one Hershey's Nugget, and they would make perfect favors for birthdays, Mother's Day, showers, or other girly events. And if you stay tuned on Monday, I'll show you how to make one more favor in the shape of a tank top. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to make these. To start off with, you're going to need your Simply Scored scoring board, and you're going to need a piece of Designer Series paper. And I've got a piece of the Subtles Designer Series paper stack here in Blushing Bride, and I've cut this piece to 5 1/4 inches by 2 1/8 inches. And I'm going to place one of the long sides up at the top of my scoring board. Then I'm going to score at the 2 1/8 inch mark, the 2 5/8 inch mark, and the 3 1/8 inch mark. Then you're going to need your big shot, and I'm going to be using my magnetic platform because it holds the dies in place really well. And then I've got one cutting plate already on top of my platform. And then you're going to need your piece of Designer Series paper that you already cut, and we're going to fold this piece along the middle score line so it folds in half perfectly. And then you're going to put the open end of this folded piece so that it goes into the big shot first. Then you're going to need the smaller of the two t-shirts. It's kind of got a feminine look to it. And you're going to place it so that the top of the t-shirt goes through the big shot first. And let me bring that closer to the camera so you can see. So you're going to want to make sure that the open end of the folded Designer Series paper piece is going through first. Then you're going to make sure that the top of the t-shirt is going through first as well. And then just make sure that you've got your framelit centered on this piece and that it's going through straight. Then you're going to take your second cutting plate, and you're not going to put it like normal. We're actually going to put it just above the bottom of the t-shirt like that, so that the bottom of the t-shirt won't get cut. So now I'm going to show you how to do it on the big shot. I've got my platform down here first, and then I'm going to take my second cutting plate and scoot it into the machine a little bit. And I'm just going to make sure that the edge of the cutting plate is above the bottom of my t-shirt here. And once that is in place, I'm going to put my thumb down, and then we're going to roll this through the big shot. Then you're going to be left with a piece that looks like this. The die has cut through both layers of the Designer Series paper, and now we just need to cut this piece free of the Designer Series paper. So this particular t-shirt kind of comes in on a curve, so you can continue that curve down to the bottom. I'm just going to angle it such that it completes the curve down here. You can kind of see how I did that. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. So just kind of find the cut line, cut it on an angle to complete the curve. And then you can throw away this outside piece, and then this is what you're left with. So now we need to fold this piece so that we can put the nugget inside. So now we're going to ignore this middle score line, and we're going to fold along the other two score lines like this. And this middle score line will no longer be used, and the nugget will cover it up and keep it flat. Then you're going to need a Hershey's Nugget, and I'm going to put some tear and tape along the bottom. Just tear it off. Then I'm going to remove the backing. And then I'm going to place the nugget in between those two score lines, like that. Then we need to take some Tombow glue, and I'm just going to put it right up at the top near the collar. And then I'm going to bring those two top pieces together, line them up, and then hold them down for a few seconds. Make sure that it looks good on both sides. Make sure you've got your piece lined up properly. And now all we need to do is decorate up this t-shirt piece a bit. So to do that, I'm going to use a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to take my Blushing Bride ink pad. it matches the color of the t-shirt. Then I'm going to take the flower stamp that comes with the custom tee stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it on my Whisper White piece. Then you're going to need your Big Shot, and again I have my magnetic platform plus my first cutting plate already sitting on there. Then you're going to take your scrap Whisper White piece and put it down. You're going to take the flower die and the collar die from the T-shirt builder framelets. The collar die can just sit over here. We're just going to cut a plain white collar. And then we're going to take this flower and make sure that it matches the petals of the flower. You might need to turn it a bit until you find it matches. Then when you've got your flower aligned, you can go ahead and cut both of those pieces at once. And there are the flower and collar pieces. Then all we need to do is add them to our t-shirt. I'm going to take some Tombow and put it on the back of my collar piece. And then I'm just going to line this up with the top of my t-shirt, like that. Then to add a little bling to the flower, I'm going to take a rhinestone jewel, and I'm going to use my paper piercing tool to remove it, and I'm going to put it in the center of the flower, like that. Then I'm going to take a dimensional, and these dimensionals are almost a little bit too big for the flower, so I'm going to take a dimensional and I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. 1, and then I'm just going to cut one of those halves in half again. Just need a little tiny piece of dimensional. And then I'm just going to put it on the back of the flower, remove the backing, and then I can add the flower to the front of my t-shirt like that. And there you go. You've got the perfect favor for birthdays, Mother's Day, or a shower, and you can decorate them up however you want. Don't forget, these favors are part of a 3-part series, so stay tuned on Monday for part 3. All the supplies you'll need to make this adorable t-shirt favor are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now.
If you like this tutorial, be sure to check out all the free with purchase tutorials available on my blog. The Hershey's Chicken and Egg tutorial is just one of the exclusive tutorials that you can choose free with a minimum purchase in my Stampin' Up! Store.